All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. It's January 18th, 7:45 a.m. my time. I wanted to discuss markets real quick as BTC is slowly slumping over the overnight session, right? And one of the things that I want to talk about is I think in terms of the range of BTC right here, I think these stops right here, this is all going to get cleaned up. And I think price is going to probably take that out, clean up all these stops, and possibly, create a range kind of like this. Okay. I'm waiting on that kind of situation because this is a pretty decent area to long. If given the opportunity, you could keep your stop, 1 to 2% lower, take this trade back into mid-range or range high up here. That is one way to go about trading this range, right? Um, Generally, once this big trend line breaks, first of all, it's either going to be a very aggressive break where things are really shitting the fan um and we're going to go straight to 38, 39K or even take out these stops, right? Or it could be a fake out and it does something like this, reclaims, goes back to about 44K or something like that. And again, this is going to be the bigger range that develops for another, few days or something, maybe another week. Then sometime in January end or February, then we break down, right? Generally, my thought process is like that. Same thing goes for Solana. I do still think that we're going to end up here sometime in, I don't know, like late February, March, April for Solana. I do think that there's still, a lot of froth in the system, a lot of excitement that's going on. But I don't think that's going to translate to these large caps by just them nuking first. I think the way I could totally see a surprise in the cycle is the meme coinery that's going on. Yesterday in my video, I talked about Popcat, right? Popcat is probably one of the higher quality meme coins, even if that is such a thing. Higher quality in that, there's a larger holder base, there's a larger market cap, larger liquidity that's been locked, the LP has been burned. These things, a pretty, decent momentum to the meme, right? Meme coins are a thing in crypto and it's hard for anyone to ignore, but the reality is there's like levels and degrees to meme coinery, right? And I think obviously Popcat is somewhere in the mid-tier meme coin because it's got a mid-tier market cap, right? 33 million. And you have something like WIF, which is obviously a much larger market cap, which is 430 million. Obviously, much more dominant in terms of its market cap, its holder base. And I already told y'all, I think, how to do research on this stuff, right? You could go to SoulScan and on SoulScan, right, you could type in WIF, okay? And it should populate the contract address. And here you could kind of see what is the total current supply, what is the holder base. You can see the analysis here too. They have approximately 34,000 holders, right? So in the 34,000 holders, or whatever it is, 41,000, right? That's a pretty wide base. And then you could kind of look at the individual addresses. If any one person generally holds more than like 3 or 4%, it's kind of a cause for concern because you could really have severe impacts on the price. But for the most part, like because everybody's already rich on this dog with hat, those that are holding, they're going to distribute in very small chunks and small amounts, right? Because they don't want to cause the price to drop a whole lot. So it's kind of like a reflexivity of like, if you have, millions and millions of WIF, you don't want to start selling in heavy chunks because you're going to depreciate the price for your own holdings, right? So the reality is, the holder base is strong, the market cap is big, and yeah, the supply is pretty well distributed, right? One of the other altcoins that I spoke about was Popcat on Solana. I spoke about this around 15 million. I've spoken about it a bunch of times, like around, 10 million and 8 million, but I bought a little bit around 15 million. Let me see what it's currently at. It's at 30 million, right? So it's already 100% gain for me. And again, whenever I buy into these things, I'm not really buying a whole lot. I'm putting in like anywhere between 500 and $1,000. Obviously, that's a lot or a little for different people, but point is that's my risk tolerance, right? So whenever I get into these things, I know that the upside is possibly like 20, 50, 100%, sometimes a 3x. But the downside is also almost always zero, right? Because it could easily go to zero. Now with Popcat, like I said, because it's a slightly larger market cap asset, I didn't think it would just go to zero right away. Obviously, there was a chance, but the chance was slim, right? Now, in yesterday's video, if you watch my video, it's on YouTube. I talk about, first of all, how to identify potential meme coins and scams in meme coins, other projects, other resources to use in Solana, how to make your experience better on Solana. And I think if you watch yesterday's video, that'll give you a good idea. Today's focus is kind of on just general, market outlook, how to use the tools of Solana, such as Jupiter. So Jupiter, right? What you could do is you could buy meme coins right directly through Jupiter. So jupe.ag is the website. And the cool thing about Jupiter is like you can go to limit order where if you want to buy, let's just say something like this, OnlyFans thing, right? Um, let's just say if OnlyFans continues to grind down as it has been the last few days, and I wanted to buy somewhere down here around like the 6 zeros with 3 6, right? By the way, on the right, you'll see the scale and it explains to you, like what is the denomination of the price versus SOL. You can also do this with USDC, I think, if there is a pair as such, right? So point is that you could set your price as a limit order, whatever amount to buy, whatever price to buy at, and it creates a limit order for you on Jupiter, which is incredible, right? For a DEX on Solana, that's huge. You can also do DCA, which is if you wanted to buy, let's just say $10 worth of, solely fans every, I don't know, let's just do every hour, right? For the next 10 hours. That's $100, right? That's $100 worth of USDC that you're going to be allocating to this project. And then you connect your wallet and it'll start buying for you, right? So that's the cool stuff that you get to have access with Jupiter on Solana. Now, sometimes what happens is if you wanted to farm liquidity or provide liquidity or stake your tokens, you could do it on Radium. And other times what happens is like Jupiter may not have these contracts listed, right? So you have to go to Radium because the contract is so new. For example, so I've talked about this project, Solely Fans. Now, till yesterday, I was under the assumption that this was just a complete meme project. And then I kind of listened to their Telegram, and a bunch of people had really interesting ideas of, well, it doesn't need to be a meme coin. Um, you could be the first OnlyFans to Solana or basically crypto, really. And that's huge because, if you look at OnlyFans, right? Like OnlyFans is basically a website where content creators could go to sell their content, whether it's pictures of themselves, videos of themselves. I know there's like weird stuff that happens there, but the point is that creators get to choose what they want to put up as content and they get to charge people for it. They get to create subscriptions for it. And OnlyFans, 2022 revenue was $1 billion. $1 billion, right? I mean, that's huge. So the point is that, and by the way, that was only, I think they only take 20% of the revenue 20% the cut, the fee. I think 2023 and projections for 2024, their revenue is supposed to grow like all the way up to like $5-6 billion. So the point is that there's a market for it, and this project right here, supposedly, right, is going to make the OnlyFans for Solana, and that's massive because if you go from a supposed meme project, right? And you actually start building out a real product. Now you've caught people off guard. All the sell pressure that took place was because the meme didn't take off. But the project and the product of an OnlyFans on Solana has huge potential, right? So that to me is very appealing. And for 32K market cap, I mean, that's an incredible steal. Even if I put in 500 or $1,000, like, if I do the sort of mental math on, I do this, I go over here, right? Okay, if you go to OnlyFans right here, the holder base, let's see how many holders there are. There's only 580 holders. I mean, that's literally nothing. It takes, I think, let me see. So if I just do the math, right, to get into the top 100, let's just do the top 100, 1.2 million. OnlyFans is trading at. So basically like $50 or $80, if I'm not mistaken, for this project gets you into the top 100 holder, right? Excuse me. Correct me on my math, but yeah, I think that's the case. Like I think you basically become a top 100 holder by buying, at this price, 50 or $100 worth. That's huge. Now, again, that's if this is not a meme coin. Now, if they start going the route of OnlyFans, and there exists no such OnlyFans on Solana, that's huge. I mean, that now creates a new product, a new potential, a new, way to value the token, because then you're going to have a creator base, a user base, a real product, real growth, real revenue, right? That's huge. So I'm actually a huge fan of now this product. And again, full disclosure, I do own some. But again, if it was completely a meme coin, I don't know if I would care a whole lot. I would just say, okay, forget about it. This thing went to zero. I put in a couple $100, it went to zero, whatever. That's just the name of the game. But now that they're developing a real product, um, apparently through their Telegram, I think that's huge. And I'm gonna pay attention to this product a lot more. You can go do research on them. I think right here, ask questions or join their Discord or whatever you need to do. That would be incredible, right? If they do start to build out this product. So I'm now going to pay a lot more attention to this because it's clearly, a much more better valued product at this price at 35K market cap. I mean, that's huge. That's a really, really cheap for something that may actually, build out a real product that may have real usage on Solana, being the first OnlyFans on Solana. So anyway, watching it carefully. Other than that, right, meme coins wise, Popcat is still one I pay close attention to. Anita Win is obviously one that people have been watching very, very closely, right? Um, Clearly a lot going on in this project, but still a meme coin, right? The meme is everywhere, but unless it starts popping off in price. Now, again, meme coin wise, this is already a mid cap to large cap in terms of meme coins. It's 32 million, right? Compared to, I don't know, this token, Y token, which is 88K. Or even if this was a meme coin, this is still much lesser of a price, right? You have the ceiling of opportunity is much higher when you're starting to buy in the tens of Ks or the hundreds of Ks versus something that is already in, 20, 30 million, right? So again, none of this is investment advice. I'm just letting you guys know, like, if you're thinking about buying meme coins, how to do research, right? How to use Solskin. You can also use Birdeye. Like I like to use Birdeye right here. And in Birdeye, you could start typing in, looking at different altcoins, who's buying what, of how much, who's selling which altcoin. Like if I wanted to do something like this, right? So let's just say I do, I don't know, let's just do Popcat, for example, right? Because it's a bigger market cap asset. Okay, Popcat, I grab the contract address right here and I dump it into here. And now I have Popcat here, okay? I get to now see not only like community score, but I get to see 24-hour trading, unique views, watchers, the pairs, the top markets that are there. I get to see top 10 holders. I then also get to see the buying and selling activity in granular fashion, right? So if I wanted to see baby like whales or dolphins of who's buying and selling, there's some decent buyers and sellers in $1,000 or $2,000 amounts. What about the bigger whales? Greater than 3,000, there's decent amount of buyers. A minute ago, someone bought with almost 10K, right? Someone a minute ago before that bought with 4,500, and then 3,500 before that. So this is a good venue to use to do research of like real buying and selling of what's going on in a granular fashion. Okay. We could do the same with something like Solana, right? Like I think for the most part, I would probably say that there's really not a whole lot of activity on there because this is only 2 days old, right? This whole project is only 2 days old. Give it like a week or two. And once they start developing their product, if they do, which is like, again, the first OnlyFans of Solana, that catches a lot of momentum, users, sentiment. And then you could start looking at Birdeye and see, okay, well, who's buying, right? Who's buying in small or large quantities? What are the recurring addresses that are buying or selling, right? What else? Who are the top traders? Who are the top holders? What is the sentiment like? How much of buying versus selling has happened, right? Bigger top markets, how's the sentiment like? Things like that. So anyway, good resource to hold on to. So like I said, SoulScan, Birdeye, another one to do research on. I already told you all about Jupiter. Radium is the other place where you can, basically stake your liquidity, and you could do that on Meteora too. So I like Meteora also. So like so let's do this, right? Like if I wanted to see something like Popcat, okay, let's do Popcat. So this is the place where you can pull your liquidity for Popcat, for USDC and Popcat. This is USDC, I think, the cat coin, not USDC, the stable coin. So you're basically getting, I don't know, like over 999% yield for staking these two coins, or rather pooling these two coins. For something like Popcat Sol, the pair, you're getting about 545%, 365-day yield, by the way, not daily. Okay. So anyway, there's some really interesting stuff that you could do on these different platforms like Meteora, Radium, Jupiter, in terms of doing research and due diligence, right? And of course, like I told you all yesterday, I'm really big into NFTs. Lately, I still think NFTs are going to take off in a big way starting in the next few months. Summer is probably going to be huge. End of the year is probably going to be huge. And like I said, like one of my big favorites in the NFT world is Ovals, just because it's an awesome community. I like spending time with them. They're just really nice people. They're builders. They're growing. And yeah, they continue to ship out product. So ovals are really cool in the NFT world. These ones are really cheap. Whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it, Juperians, right? These ones are really cheap, and you could buy these for less than let me see here. Buy these for like less than like $5 or something, right? So if you're just a collector and you like art, these are really cool to buy. And then Driphouse is another very cool platform where you can basically like kind of bid on auctions of the NFTs. So one of my favorite artists is DJ Poet, and he makes really cool art like this. And basically what you do is like there will be a button here to thank the artist, and once you thank them, you'll see like the leaderboard, And in the leaderboard, you'll see your name up to, like how much thanks has been given, where you stack up in the rankings of the thanks, etc. So yeah, like just really cool stuff that Driphouse has built. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Um, other than that, I mean, market's moving, right? There's really not a whole lot that I want to talk about. I still am very much concerned about the remainder of Q1. I still think there's going to be a lot of noise in Q1 before all is said and done. Be very, very careful of your positions. I think the market has been very um, benevolent till now, but I don't know if it's going to be just as like gracious over the next 2 months or so before the quarter closes. But just be cautious. And then yeah, follow me on Twitter if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right. Y'all take care. Good luck, everybody. And yeah, cheers.